Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your April soul session. I am Marlo if you are new, and if you're family, welcome back, my friend. So, we're going to go ahead and jump into you guys' cards. We're starting off with an overall energy for the month of April. So, let's see what's going on with my Capricorns for the month of April. So, the card that we have is disconnection. And it says break in connection, no communication, and separation. So for you guys, my Capricorns, what may be going on for you guys in the month of April is feeling a tad bit disassociated in a non-therapeutic sense, or feeling disconnected in some way, shape, form, or fashion, just from like life, friends, people. You guys could be in a contemplative state where, you're just kind of trying to figure out where you are. You're trying to regroup yourself. You're trying to get back into alignment. You may feel in some sense or another that you've kind of fallen off track, but I do feel it has something to do with other people. And I'm saying that in the sense of that's what you're disconnected from. I don't really feel it so much that you guys are disconnected from yourself. It's like I feel you guys are trying to reconnect with yourself, because it's feeling almost as if you've kind of gotten out of alignment. And I mean, that typically happens like when we're working a lot, or you have a lot of different responsibilities. It's like you can kind of feel like you're teetering on burnout, and you just feel like, okay, I need to take a step back. So whether that's like friends, family members, romantic partners, you may have kind of taken a step back, and you're not really communicating so much with everyone because you're, kind of trying to get back to yourself. So the next card that we have out is Finger. Interesting. And it says warning you of a problem either now or in the near future. I can see where this could happen because, okay, hold on. Before I say something else, we have horse. So we have short journey. This is interesting. Okay, so whoa, all right. Then we have nest, and it says an emotionally secure, loving family is important to you. Interesting. Okay, so here's the deal. The first inclination that I get with this Capricorn, and it's kind of reminding me of what I got in Sagittarius's soul session. I spoke about with them, it was something that happened or something that was going on that they weren't sharing with their job, friends, family members, what have you. And I'm more or less feeling with you guys that if there was something like say and this is going to be like kind of corny, but say, I don't know, you and your brothers and sisters, right? Like your family, y'all are supposed to go on like this family trip to like Disney World, right? And they're waiting on confirmation that you're going to come. And it's like, you're kind of going through your thing or whatever. So you take a step back and you're not really communicating with anyone or saying what's going on. And the assumption is like, oh, well, maybe Cap's not coming. You know what I mean? So they go ahead and book the rooms and stuff and don't include you in it. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like anything that's super serious, you know what I mean? But it's almost like missing out on that opportunity because of you guys kind of being in this space. You know what I mean? But it's like, I can't fault you for that, because I mean, sometimes we have to do that. We have to take a step back to get clear on ourselves, on where we're feeling kind of off kilter, kind of like, regrouping, trying to figure things out. But I feel regardless of what this is speaking to specifically, and another thing I'm hearing with that too is and I have this conversation a lot with my staff and my friends, like there's sometimes like you're introverted, and sometimes you just need to kind of like get away to kind of figure some stuff out in your life. And a question I know my staff asked me before was like, do you think it's wrong that a person just like, retracts and is like, I just need to get my life together? And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that, but I feel it can kind of, and that's why this energy I'm picking up on is reminding me of Sag. So if y'all are like cuspers, then most definitely go look at that, or if you have Sag in your chart. but it's more or less the lack thereof of communication can cause issues and problems, with, like I said, with Sag, like with your job. If, you're quitting in a week, but you just never put in 2 weeks notice, it's like that can cause like a disruption, if you will. So I feel what's important for you guys is if there is anything that's kind of on the line, because I feel that's what this warning is about. If there's anything that's in alignment with something that, you previously planned to do with other people, or anything that has anything to do with future plans, or your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your family, whatever the case, I feel that kind of taking a step back like this, gosh, this is literally like Sag just reading all over again. It's almost like forewarning of when we end up taking steps back like that, what it ends up like, what the other person is seeing on the other side of it. So it's more or less, if there's something that you guys know is hanging in the balance, I think it's important to kind of at least communicate like, hey, I'm going through something right now. You know what I mean? And be able to make that clear, as opposed to, just kind of thinking, I don't feel like talking, so that's what it is, right? Now, the first card out, we have the Lovers. So there needs to be a choice here in the month of April, Capricorn. That's Gemini energy, by the way. So that could be another reason why you guys are kind of disconnected, because this is something that's been coming up for the entire collective in the month of April, is everyone is kind of finding themselves at a crossroads where there's a choice that needs to be made. And of course, the advice like I gave to, I think I said that in the weekly, and I think I said that to Sag in their extended. When it comes to decisions that you're making, it's, we want to use logic a lot of times whenever we're making decisions, but what would behoove us is making decisions that are in alignment with our heart space. So this crossroads that everyone, and that's, wow, that's interesting. She has the little bow and arrow tattoo like a Sagittarius. That's so fascinating. I really think that y'all need to watch Sag, child. But anywho, there's a need to make a decision coming into the month of April. But the whole key is there's a need to make a decision from your heart space, because of course, with the Lovers, we're talking about making a choice, but it's a choice that's either, a head or heart decision. You know what I mean? And I feel with the Lovers, the way that you kind of transcend the energy with this is not making it head or heart. It's like using your logic, yes, but making sure you use your logic to make a choice from your heart space. So something that's honoring both parts of you. Now, the next card that we have out is the Ace of the Cuppies. That is so wonderful. So with the Ace of Cups, this is all about making an offer to someone, or someone making an offer to you guys. So the issue very well could be is the fact that you guys may have a decision between two things. There may be something that makes sense logically. And even if we go back to like this whole, family, trip kind of scenario, it's like, it could be an issue you guys are in where there's should, oughts, and supposed tos. This is so Sagittarius is reading all over again, Capricorn. I can't even deal. There could be should, oughts, or supposed tos that are in alignment with it, because it could be something like, if you think about responsibilities and stuff, right? Like, if you come from a family that's like really traditional, and it's like, this is something that the family does every year, and it's now something that may be in contrast to what you really want to do. So say, hypothetically, you wanted to go backpack through Europe by yourself, right? And it's coming up on this time of this trip that your family always does, but say hypothetically, like, you don't always have the best of times when you go on this family trip. And it's more or less you guys putting yourself into a position, which is what I forewarned Sagittarius about, is taking a step back and becoming indecisive. So it's like, to not make a decision is to still make a decision, but it puts you in a disempowered place because it causes other people to make a decision for you. And I feel what the message is for this, Sag, is for you guys to make a decision that's very much, did I say Sag? I am so sorry, Capricorn. I don't know why Sag energy is like mobbing you guys reading. But anywho, this is really about you, Capricorn, making a decision that's in alignment with your heart space. So it's all about what's best for you. So it feels almost to me that what has instigated this, like, disengagement and where you guys are kind of like in the 7 of Cups kind of energy is because the battle is between, if we say head and heart, it's should, ought, supposed to's, expectations of people outside yourself versus what it is that you really want. You know what I mean? So I feel whether this is something that's offered to you guys or something that you guys are in possession of with this Ace of Cups, this is really saying to me that what would behoove you all is to make a decision that's in alignment with your heart space, like what it is that really brings you joy, whatever it, oh, good Lord. Okay. It's too many cards. Whatever it is that brings you joy, whatever it is that makes you happy. You know what I mean? The next card that we have is the Fool. That's Aries energy. Oh, boo-boo cards came out. Then we have the 8 of Wands, and that's forward movement and communication. Then we have the 10 of Wands. That's very much the energy that I was picking up on. So there's something about this that's very cumbersome for you guys. But with this 10 of Wands, I'm feeling this so differently. This is unfinished business. This is unfinished business. Okay, so Capricorn, let me just be honest here. So this is looking to me a lot like a pattern, right? So this is something where it is that you guys are now. This is something I feel that has happened before on multiple occasions, right? So it's kind of finding yourself at this proverbial crossroads. And with this crossroads, it's either choosing between, like, and like we said, base level energy signature, we're talking about head and heart. So logic and true desires, right? If we bring that up into 3D, this can be traditions, family expectations, should, ought, supposed to's, right? And what your true path and purpose is, right? And I feel whenever you guys find yourself in this situation, and that's why this is reminding me so much of Sagittarius. I'm so sorry if y'all don't like Sagittarius. This is, I'm so sorry. But why it keeps bringing up that energy, because you guys are in the same exact situation that Sagittarius is in, where it's finding yourself at a crossroads, and where the difference is with you guys is, as opposed to making a decision, because you can know what you really want, but there's still this level of like not wanting to like disappoint. So going back to the whole family vacation scenario, it's like, I'm supposed to go to Disney World with my family like we do every year at this time. But it's like, I have for the last 5, 6, 7, 10 years, I've literally hated going on this trip. I've been miserable for the entire week that we were there. However, that's what I'm supposed to do because that's what, you know, my family is expecting of me. But in your heart of hearts, it's not what you want to do. It's you want to go backpacking, you know, through Europe that week. So when you find yourself in situations like this, where you're at the crossroads, you have to make a choice. It's almost that it becomes overwhelming. So I'm seeing what you guys inadvertently end up doing is like just taking a step back and just not saying anything. You know what I mean? And I feel with this particular situation, I know that everyone is not going to Disney World with their family, but I feel this particular situation that you guys are in, that I'm calling Disney World, I feel this is a different situation. I feel the pattern is the fact that this is how you guys kind of deal with conflict. It's just completely disconnecting. It's like you just kind of numb out, disassociate, and it's like, this isn't happening, and just kind of maneuver on. But with this Fool card, it's saying that there's a need for you guys to take a chance. And I feel like the chance that you guys need to take is, you know, and how you guys move forward, in so many words, is by communicating and being honest about it. Because with this 10 of Wands being here, I feel this is a temporary time frame. Like just like with this Horse card, it says short journey. So it means like there's like a small window of opportunity to where you guys can really shift things for yourself and move things forward for yourself by you know, pushing yourself out of this stagnant energy, or coming out of this disconnection and actually communicating and saying the truth, like literally telling your family, like, hey, I know we always do this trip, but I really don't want to go. You know what I'm saying? But with this 10 of Wands showing up, that's where I'm getting this whole vibe of this being a pattern, because I feel the burden or energy that you guys are carrying is that there isn't any closure in all of these situations that you guys have behaved in this way before. So I hope and pray that that's making sense, because what it's looking like to me, this situation this month that has put you guys in this place of disconnection, this is merely like a catalyst. And I feel it's a catalyst for something that's really easy for you guys to make the decision, because when it comes to the options that you're weighing, you really don't want to go to Disney World, if that's making sense. You really do want to go to Europe, like, without the shadow of a doubt. So I feel Spirit is more or less putting Capricorn at a crossroads to where there is no question about what it is that you're desiring or what it is that you're wanting. In so many words, like, there is no question about that. So it's going to make it easier for you guys to make this decision. But I do feel it's somewhere around and I felt the same thing for Sag. It's something about the midpoint of the month, like literally around that, between like the 15th through the 19th, in that time frame where it's like there's a short window of time to where you can be honest about what it is that you're wanting to do. You know what I mean? As opposed to this now being yet another, baggage that you're carrying with you, because there's this energy I feel of unfinished business, because it's like, kind of like this vibe of sneaking out the back door. And I said the same exact thing to Sagittarius. I was like, dude, I see what y'all are doing and I feel you, because with them, it was more or less something that they weren't saying to a friend, and they just didn't want to have that uncomfortable conversation. So it's like, let's just not talk about this. You know what I mean? But I feel this is giving you guys an opportunity to release all of these burdens and, to pretty much give up all of these 9 wands you guys have been carrying and just go back to that Ace of Wands. Like, that's the only wand that any of us are required to carry, right? It's our own torch for life, like our passion, our heart's desire. That's the only thing that you're responsible to tender to. But I feel inadvertently, with kind of never putting a period on the sentence of things and never really saying yes or no, you know what I mean? It's like this ends up becoming like bags that you guys are carrying forward, in so many words. So I feel this is an opportunity to really kind of clean your slate, if you will, Cappies. You know what I mean? But I feel oh, good Lord, oh, good Lord, oh, good Lord, really? Speaking of Capricorn, I love how the devil card just falls out. Child, look, I'm not going to take all of these. I'm just going to take this at the top. Oh my God, maybe I am going to have to take all of them, Capricorn. All right. So we have the devil card. Of course, you guys know this is Capricorn energy, and this is speaking to bondage and addictions, whether this is in a mental space, you know what I mean? Whether this is in behaviors, but this is just speaking to me of this being a behavioral pattern, like looking at this 10 of Wands and the devil. It's more or less the burdens that you guys are carrying or the baggage that you guys are carrying. This is the energy signature you guys have existed in for some time. This is the target of the energy this month. So it's coming in with this opportunity, right? A choice that has to be made. You know what it is that you really want. What's required is for you guys to take a chance, right? To be open and honest with communication is what's going to move you forward. But literally this 10 of Wands being tied to this devil, that's why I was feeling that as unfinished business. It's like, this is kind of like, in how my guides are showing it to me, it's interesting. It's kind of like, this is the opportunity for healing, deliverance, forward movement, right? That's the opportunity that you guys have. But it's like knowing this and being aware of this, but this is like triggering because it requires you to make a choice. So what's happening is it's like, it's disconnecting. It's like, hopefully someone can just make this decision for me, right? So it's like one of those things where you're working at a job and you hate the job. You don't want to be at the job anymore, but it's not making the decision to take a chance and follow your heart and say, I'm just going to quit and I'm going to find somewhere else. So instead, it's just like going inside of yourself, pretending none of this is happening. And inadvertently, what this disconnection leads to is more burdens, more unfinished business, more baggage that you have to carry. And it's all about this devil card. Like, that's the consistent pattern. So if we really look at what it is that Capricorns are confronting in the month of April, it's literally this energy. It's the fact that disconnecting, whether that's emotionally, whether that's through, not saying the truth of how you feel, whether that's through ghosting, whether that's, sneaking out the back door, right? It's the thought of trying to avoid, and that also reminds me of like Tower reverse energy. It's like it's trying to avoid, a level of discomfort having to make a decision, because there could be a fear of success with this. There could be a fear of connection with this. There could be a fear of stepping outside of your comfort zone. There could be a fear of standing up for yourself. It could be a fear of disappointing people. You know what I mean? Whatever the case, it's more or less staying in this stasis. It's like a stagnant kind of energy, but I feel it's like a self-protection kind of thing. But like I said, with our overall energy, you guys have a short window of time where you can choose to step out of agreement with this. You know what I mean? Because this is really pseudo security, but it's also forewarning you guys that if you don't come out of agreement with this, right, like with our little finger card, it's pretty much telling you that this whole disassociating thing is going to cause a problem in the future. So what this is saying is that there's a need to face this head on, right? Because the rest of the cards that came out, we have the Star and the reverse, and that's like a loss of hope. We have the Hangman that's being in limbo. This is exactly the energy that I felt. Also, the Seven of Cups. Like, I felt that with this disconnection, it's just like, it's too many options. It's too overwhelming. I can't make a decision. This is too much. Then we have the Six of Swords in the reverse. That's a lack of movement forward. We have the 10 of Cups in the reverse, and that's a loss of emotional fulfillment. So, and then lastly, we have the Five of Swords. So this is like a hollow victory. So the whole thing I'm seeing with this, Caps, is this is a pattern, not just with our proverbial family trip. I just feel, the proverbial family trip, like I said before, that's just an example of this catalyst that you guys are finding this month. But it's not with this particular situation. It's countless situations. And this has been the coping mechanism. The coping mechanisms that you guys have used up to this point of dealing with conflicting situations, or situations where you have to make a decision, even if the decision that you're making is in your highest good. It's just the simple fact that with the Fool, it's requiring you to step into the unknown, whether that's in behavior, right? Or it's a new place, it's a new space. Like, it's just something that's outside of your comfort zone. And this is what you guys do to protect yourself. But the thing that I'm trying to get you guys to see here is how the month of April starts out. Look at how bright these cards are. You know what I mean? Because like typically, even though I look at it, if I just looked at this, for some of you guys, this could even be like a love situation as well, because, in the tarot community, I think everyone would love to see the Lovers and the Ace of Cups and the Fool, and God forbid the Eight of Wands all next to each other. Because this really could be that there's a chance to be able to, and that's like just like a little side message here, but if I were to make it specific and make it about a love thing, it would still be the same thing, with this undergirding energy, in the sense that if this did deal with, a romantical type of thing, whether this is a new person that you meet, or it's a person from high school that contacts you back, and this person is offering you an opportunity, they offering you a cup of love. And in order for you to do that, you have to take a chance, like really step out on faith, listen to your intuition, trust your heart, and just take a chance. You know what I mean? But this would be making a decision in your head, which is again carrying more baggage, because it's just easier. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is just easier. It's like the thought of doing this is scary as all get out. You know what I'm saying? And to just walk away, leave the unfinished business, the ends not tied, you know what I'm saying? That's a lot easier to do because there's no risk that's involved. But then when we're looking at all of these cards, this is showing you the narrative of what always happens whenever you guys do this, right? It's like you're losing more hope in the situation. You're coming more out of alignment with yourself because the more that we choose in opposition to our heart, right? Because the star card's all about the soul, right? Your soul is your authentic truth. So the more that we choose the mind over the heart, like in opposition to it, and we're not taking into account what it is that we truly desire on a heart level, it puts us in this place of limbo where it's like you're neither here nor there. You're standing at that crossroads, disconnected. And that's why things get so confusing and cloudy. So it's trying to figure out, how do I move forward? What is it that I do next? And the reason why you don't have the answer to that question is because you didn't choose an alignment with your truth and your heart, right? That's what puts you like in this no man's land energetically. And then this is how it always pans out. It's being in what they say, you know, tumultuous waters, if you will. It's being in emotional unrest or being in mental unrest or feeling stagnant or, you know, feeling stuck, right? Being unhappy, you know, being in mental conflict. And like I say, with this Five of Swords, this is a hollow victory. And the reason why it's a hollow victory is because, granted, you were able to just like, you know, peace out, not deal with the conflict. But look at what it is that you're walking to. It's just more stagnation. So it's like this energy is saying this is giving you guys an opportunity in the month of April to be able to set yourself free from the bondage of the devil, right? To release all of these burdens, all of this baggage, right? To come back into agreement with yourself, for your eyes to be open, for your heart to be open, right? For you guys to be restored and come back into alignment with yourself. And all of this confusion wouldn't even exist because you would already know the answer. There's nothing to be confused about. So this is more or less saying to me, Capricorn, and I'm even thinking about you guys reading from last month when I was talking to you guys about the hamster wheel. It's like, this is the hamster wheel that you guys have been on. You know what I mean? And it's more or less like, it even reminds me of the card that came out in Sag too, the Four of Cups energy. It's the fact that this is an opportunity for you guys to be set free from all of this cumbersome energy, but it's a fear in reference to taking this. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what the whole challenge is for you guys in the month of April. So if you would listen to your friend Marlo, okay, my advice for you, my friend, I feel you guys owe it to yourself to choose your heart space. So if we're talking about, if we go back to our Disney World trip, right? If, you know, your family goes to Disney World every year, and yes, it's extremely uncomfortable because, you know, your parents and your siblings are probably going to freak out and be like, how are you not going to do this? What about grandma? You know what I mean? It's like, I think it would behoove you to stand up for yourself, right? And to go backpack through Europe as opposed to going to Disney World, even though everyone may be upset, even though they may say things that you don't like, you know what I mean? Because if you chose, right, to go and to just numb yourself out and say, well, you know, I really didn't want to go to Europe anyway. But if you choose to numb yourself out and like betray yourself in so many words and end up going to proverbial Disney World anyway, it's like, this is all of the regret that you would feel for not listening to yourself. You know what I'm saying? So with this Five of Swords, it's like, granted, you made your family happy. You know what I'm saying? They're cool, but it's like, but you're miserable. You know what I'm saying? So I really feel what this is saying, all in all, Capricorn, this whole month is about you guys choosing yourself. You know, it's not letting, you know, fear um push you into a corner to do something you don't want to do that's not in alignment with you. You know what I'm saying? It's not about using maladaptive coping skills to deal with uncomfortable situations. It's like, I feel in this discomfort is where you find your deliverance. So it's all about you facing whatever this fear is, standing up for yourself and doing what's right for you. Because I feel by avoiding it, it's like you're just kind of cheating yourself. You know what I'm saying? And giving other people an opportunity to, benefit from you cheating yourself, and that's not fair to yourself. Dag nabbit, son of a gun. Whew, that's interesting. This has been an interesting read. And I really need to figure out what the heck is going on between y'all and Sagittarius, man. But anywho, this has been your April Soul session. I'm going over to my network, Vimeo, Patreon, all the places to do you guys extended. So if you bout that life, follow me on over there. But if not, I still love your face, Capricorn. And I will see you guys sooner than later, my friends.